offers fine dining in a beautiful outdoor space.
Welcome to the Beaumont Inn. We are located here in Dallas, Pennsylvania, 4437 out on State Route 309. When customers come here for dining, the experience is more than just food. It's our customer service, it's the beautiful gardens, it's really relaxing and enjoying a culinary experience that just really is like no other in the area.
I'm here with Executive Chef Jeff Hunsinger, and it's a beautiful day, isn't it, Chef?
Oh, it's gorgeous out here this morning.
And you have a really nice recipe for us, as usual.
We do. We're going to go with our harvest salad, which is on our new menu. And we take our house-grown Victorian rhubarb, and all we're going to do is we're going to dice that up, and then we're going to take our strawberries, and all we're going to do, and we're starting to see local strawberries just starting to pop through, so all we're going to do with these strawberries, we're going to take the tops off, we're going to cut them in half, and then we're just going to do a little bit of a large slice on them, because what we're going to do is we're going to macerate them, which means we're just going to toss them with a little bit of salt, sugar, and rice wine vinegar.
Ooh, nice.
And that's going to kind of break them down and let the juices kind of seep into that and almost make like a syrup with that. So when you toss that into the salad, the flavor it develops is just absolutely phenomenal.
Awesome.
So we have our strawberries sliced here. We're going to add those to our rhubarb.
And what kind of flavor does that rhubarb have?
The rhubarb, it's a little bit tart, but when you add the vinegar and the sugar, it brightens, especially with the strawberries. Like that tartness with the sweetness of the strawberries and the vinegar. I mean, everything really plays well with this dish. So we're just gonna add just a pinch of salt, a really fat pinch of sugar, and just a splash of rice wine vinegar. And we use rice wine vinegar because it's a little bit sweeter.
Okay.
So you wanna kind of have that perfect balance of what we're doing here. So we're gonna just mix that together, and we're gonna set that off to the side here. And we're gonna move on to the next step, which is breaking down our lettuce. This is our Boston Bib from Roland's Farm. They are fantastic when it comes to lettuce. Everything they grow is indoor hydroponic. So literally there was one farmer that touched this from seed to the moment it's in my hand right now, which is in this day is absolutely phenomenal to see. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take the root end off there, and it's the root end. You still have the roots on it. So that's the hydroponic that was down in the water, and that's where the lettuce grew up from. And then all we're gonna do with this is we're gonna turn it down the middle. We're gonna turn it over once, and we're gonna go for like $quarter size pieces for our lettuce. So now we're gonna put our salad together. So we have our rhubarb and our strawberries. We have our lettuce from Roland's Farm. We have our honey mint vinaigrette, and then we have goat cheese. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna shake a little bit of this goat cheese in, and this is just regular goat cheese. We crumbled it up, and then we're gonna add our strawberries and rhubarb. Then we're gonna take our honey mint vinaigrette, just give it a good shake to make sure everything's all together, and then drizzle that in there. And then we're gonna toss it just very gently, because we don't want to break that lettuce up. We don't want to bruise it. Just kind of scoop everything from the bottom and then turn it back onto the top.
What a beautiful salad.
But it's nice flavor-wise. It's just got everything this season is about, with the goat cheese, the strawberries, the mint coming right from the garden. Just the freshness of this salad is phenomenal. And this right here is our harvest salad.
All right, Chef, now we're ready for our salmon.
Absolutely. So we have some absolutely gorgeous Royal Tide salmon.
Beautiful.
We get this through Indian Ridge Provisions, which is sourced from the cold Canadian waters. The fat to meat ratio, it's just very succulent. So all we're gonna do is take a little bit of salt and then a little bit of pepper, and we're gonna pop some oil in our pan. We wanna let that oil heat up. You don't wanna just put the oil in and then put the fish in. You wanna make sure that that oil comes to a nice temperature, and it should slide across the bottom of the pan fairly easy. And then you'll see the waves come through the oil and it bubbling, and that's when we know it's perfect time to put this in.
All right.
And then we're gonna salt and pepper the backside. While that's happening, we're gonna get our shallot chopped for our sauce. All we're gonna do is we're gonna take our shallot, we're gonna slice it down the middle there, and we wanna do a rough chop on it. We're gonna kind of strain it before we put it on. So we want this to have enough texture to be able to break down and not disintegrate into the sauce, so the sauce is still super clear when we present it. All right, and now we're ready to turn it over. All right, and now we're ready to top this with our Dijon mustard. So all we're gonna do is a little bit down there. And then we have sourdough pretzel crumbs. All we did was we took beautiful sourdough pretzels and blitzed them up. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna cover that salmon and we're gonna press that down to evenly distribute the mustard and have the pretzel crumbs stick to it.
This is so unique. I love
Right?
it.
And now we're gonna go pop this in the oven for 12 minutes at 375.
Great.
All right, now that that's in the oven, we're gonna make our reduction, which all we're gonna do is we're gonna take a little bit of oil and then throw the shallots that we cut in earlier. And we just wanna sweat them down. We don't need to get any color on them. We just wanna kind of start to break them down. They're starting to get that a nice little bit of almost like translucent on them now. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna hit that with a little bit of our mustard and move that around just to kind of mix it up. And then we're going to add our local maple syrup.
Wow, this is interesting.
We're gonna mix it around and we're gonna reduce it and just kind of let that go from the half a cup of syrup we put in to about a quarter cup. That'll be the perfect amount of reduction to where it's not too thick, because if you reduce it too much, then it becomes super thick because the sugar is just reducing caramelized too much.
Chef Hunsinger here at the Beaumont Inn has been amazing. We've been working together now for about 5.5 years. He's a culinary master. He's so delicate with his plating. His food is very, very unique. He loves to have fun in the kitchen.
Chef, this is the most beautiful presentation. It's like a piece of art.
Well, you eat with your eyes first, and we're trying to put the best of the best in front of you here at the Beaumont.
You always amaze us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you for preparing this for us.
Oh, absolutely, thanks for having us.
Now, I know many people are going to want to dine here at the Beaumont Inn, so give us
Absolutely.
the information.
You're gonna wanna call as soon as you can. Get your reservations in because spots are filling up fast. You could call the restaurant at 570-675-7100. You can visit us on our social media, the Beaumont Inn, or go to our website, www.thebeaumontin.com.
Great. Chef, thank you so much.
Oh, our pleasure. We love being able to bring this and kind of show off a little bit of what we have here at the Beaumont.
Thank you.